Okay. Daily quiz, get them. Yep. Because he doesn't remember if he actually responded to your email because I got about 6 of them that day.
So you should give Natalie.
Yes, no?
I don't know.
All right.
She probably didn't look at it either.
Short version. Take care of every other class besides mine first. Not all teachers are lenient with deadlines. 2, everything is on YouTube. Follow along like you were in class. Get it done when you can. Don't touch my class until everything else is done. Because all of my stuff is online anyway. Okay? So if during this class you have not been keeping up with other stuff while gone, then don't do the quiz today. Don't do the daily quiz. I have no idea how to do this. Why should this be a part of my grade? Right? Instead, how about you get all your crap ready for your other classes so you know what you need to do for the next few days. Then deal with mine. I will mark week 2 in the grade book as, I'll just leave it blank so it doesn't count for you. So it's only your week 1 stuff.
Okay, thank you.
And then get it done when you get it done. Okay? All right, Meow. Open book, open notes. You know how this works. Do the thing. I feel like I have to keep saying this because last time I checked notebooks, they were kind of atrocious. Those of you who actually turned them in. Please label. It should say somewhere next to this 2-3A multi-step equations. Do the problem. Once you're done, circle or box in your answer or your score. Okay, if it's not labeled, if I have to hunt through a notebook that's not just algebra, but it's also physical science and English and geography, I'm just going to toss the book back over on the shelf and not even look at it. Okay? Just try to have a little organization with it. Show your steps, show your process. Power of Christ compels you. Oh, I suppose I forgot about the new paradigm.
Yeah.
Artifact Planeswalker by color. So I didn't have those on there before because they've only really started doing colored artifacts and uncommon walkers recent years. So. You said today, tomorrow, and Monday?
Yeah.
Shame. Okay, for everyone who's already sitting there saying that you're done, did you check it? Not just solve, did you also check it? Follow instructions. Oh, Oz, I'm not here tomorrow afternoon. I leave at 1:45.
And you're not coming back, right?
Nah. So,
I'll do it.
okay. Okay. Who do what?
I'm not sure if I would add or subtract 18.
Is it a positive or a negative 18?
Positive.
So, how do you want to do positive things?
Subtract.
There you go.
How would I get rid of like the fraction here? Like how would I do that? Would I just like multiply these?
You multiply the fractions. You passed middle school.
No, I didn't.
You have a calculator in front of you. I can ask you questions. I can't tell you how to do it. No. That's what last class was. Anyone still rolling? Oogly doogly. I got two things that got to go away up there. Multi-step equation. In fact, this is only two-step. I left it as two-step instead of going all the way to three steps like we did last time because we didn't finish the lesson. But we can still do this. How do I get rid of 18? Show it's a negative 6/5 x is negative 30. It just means it'll change the sign on your answer. That's all. Okay. What is that negative 6/5 doing to x? It's multiplying, so I will divide. And dividing by fractions is easy as pie. So a negative 5/6. Okay, now when I do, 6 over 6 cancels. 5 over 5 cancels. Negative with negative cancels. Just x. That's the whole point. 30 and 6 both have what in common?
3,
More?
6.
6. Now when I take 30 divided by 6, it is 5. And negative with negative. So I get 5 times 5, 1 times 1, 25 over 1. Okay. Now if I think that x is 25, I should be able to go all the way back to the beginning and say 18 minus 6/5 times 25 is at negative 12. Now I can choose to do that with manually. Plug in 25 and then say cancel, cancel, 1, 5, right? 25 and 5 have 5s in common. Negative 6 times 5, that is now 18 minus 30. And sure enough, negative 12 equals negative 12. And do it that way. Option 2, you stop closing your calculator in between classes. Narf. Wow. Option number 2, you can just type it in like that. You say 18 minus, you know what? 18 minus 6/5 parenthesis 25 parenthesis. Okay, this is going to be wrong. Okay. Error syntax. Syntax is the order in which we say things. Okay. Grammar is your choice of words. Syntax is the order in which you use those words. Okay. Most famous non-standard syntax, Yoda. Okay. Very annoyed you are. He swapped up the order of his verbs and the rest of the predicate. Okay? He put it in a different order. This is saying error syntax. Check all arguments. Arguments are things that I typed. You typed something dumb. That's what this says. So if I want to get rid of that, maybe I can actually go to it and it'll tell me, hey, bro, right here. You can't do that. Maybe that was supposed to be minus. Okay? Just something to be aware of if you have a scientific calculator or a graphing calculator. The negative button is not the minus button. One says times a negative 1, the other says add the opposite. Okay, they actually have different operations in the calculator. But I can check it like this. I don't have to manually check it. This is just fine. Don't do that. Don't do that. No, bad. There you go. So, how do we do this? Did we subtract 18? Did we multiply by the reciprocal? Did we get the correct value? Do we have a check to back it up? And then I'm going to leave one as a floater for, did you do the dumb? Did you, oops, I missed the negative. Okay, so I ended up with negative 25. And then my check showed that I was wrong and I didn't know what to do. Well, you did all the stuff, you just missed the negative. One off. But your check should have showed that it was wrong. I want you to keep that in mind today. Time for that quiz, right? If you did something wrong, when you check it, it should not work. And if it not works, you know that you did it wrong. You need to go back and fix it, or you need to state something to that effect, like, I know I screwed up, but I can't find where. Give you a little life hack here for high school, especially as freshmen. Teachers absolutely love it when you qualify your answer. You know what I mean? You're taking a test, you do the thing, and you're pretty sure that it's either this or this, and you can't remember which one. Write that in the margin. You say, I know it's this or this, but I can't remember which one because thing. And teachers, we love that because it shows that you are thinking critically. It shows that you know what you're doing. It's just this tiny little bit is throwing you off. You know how many points on random stuff I got in high school correct because I just wrote crap like that next to all of my answers? Even if I was wrong, I would have teachers give me credit because it was obvious that I knew what was going on. I just made this tiny little goof. So I'd get 1 off out of 6 instead of 4 off out of 6. Okay? So please, if that happens, you get to your check, you know you didn't do it right because somehow you ended up with negative or positive 12 is negative 12. Well, this isn't right. But I can't find my goof. Write that next to it. Don't just use that as a lazy cop-out, but if you genuinely can't find it, then write that. Okay? I'll gobble that up. I love that stuff. Shows me you're thinking. Okay? Who do what? What's up, dude?
Which student said that they didn't pass middle school? I believe that's what I heard.
Well, they're freshmen, so it's questionable whether they pass middle school or not. Keep rolling, dude. We gotta get ready for test here. Austin's my boy. He's my guy. He's been like a 4-year veteran for Game Club. Good dude. When he was in middle school and he came here for a tournament on the weekend, he kind of choked out another kid and got kicked out.
Oh, wow.
We've learned a lot in the last few years.
I guess we added him to the list of redheads.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, the kid he choked out had a tantrum later that day and screamed and yelled at me, and I had to go dad mode on him. So it was a weird day. That's what happens when you bring middle schoolers up for game club events. But yeah, we are. Here we got our homework. I don't think I had more than one question. Maybe someone just kind of wandered down and double checked some stuff with me. Speak now or forever hold your pieces.
Let's do like 16.
16?
Yeah.
There it is. Okay. If I have 9t minus 6 minus 6t is 6. First of all, that's just mean. A bunch of 9s and 6s and t's that look like pluses. And y'all, if you don't like that, I'm always, as long as there's one variable in it and the directions didn't tell you it stands for something specific, like the height, I'm cool with you changing it if you want to. Some people just cannot stand having T's or S's in their work because they look like pluses and 5s. All right? I'm cool with you changing it. Oh. Yeah. Why aren't you doing what I tell you? Every time I see a plus or a minus, it's a new term, so I chop it up. And do any of those boxes go together?
Yes.
9t's minus 6t's is 3t's. Oh, no. Add 6 to both sides. What? Oh, okay. All right. And now we're there. 3t is now 12. Divide both sides by 3. T is 4. Real quick. What if we had that? I changed something very small, but now I have 3t minus 6 is negative 6. What do I do? And when I add 6 to both sides, do you know how many kids, I see this time and time and time and time and time again, you'll get someone like Haven over here that just says 3 equals t. I don't remember if you were the one who said that the other day. You can't just move the goalposts. You can't just move the equal sign. 3 and t are being multiplied together. You can't just shove an equal sign in between them. Okay? Y'all had the homecoming dance last week, right? You see 2 people like mashing parts out there. Do you just like step in between them? Okay? That's extra awkward. Okay? You can't just move the equal sign between them. What is left on each side? What's left over here? Okay, 3t. What's left on the other side? 0. 0's number 2. Stop discriminating. Now what? Divide by 3. Okay. What does that mean?
0.
It is 0. If you're not sure, grab a calculator. Y'all got a calculator. What's 0 divided by 3? What's 3 divided by 0?
Not a number.
0 divided by 3. I see 3 kids right here. I'm going to give my 0 pieces of pizza to these 3 kids. They each get 0, right? Doesn't matter. But if I say, I got a marker that's 3 inches long, I dare you to cut this into 0 pieces.
Good luck.
Cut this into 0 pieces. Not a billion pieces that might as well be worth 0. Cut this into 0 pieces. This is 1 piece. You always got some kid who's like, look, I did it.
What's that behind?
That wasn't division. That was subtraction.
Exactly.
Okay? You can't divide something into no pieces. Y'all, if you're ever not sure about the whole 0 over a number over a 0 thing, just type it in your calculator. Okay? I just wanted to go through that since it was convenient. But no, the answer was just 4. Anywhere else?
28.
28?
That was the last one we had, right?
I don't remember.
And then let's see that one.
Okay. Multi-step. Step 1. Disturbert. If I distribute to 5, we got n plus 5n minus 5 is 7. Smooth. Now what? I can add 5, but before I go moving stuff, I want to combine like terms. Now, is that wrong? If I added 5, don't I now have n plus 5 is 12? Or sorry, n plus 5n. Right? Whether I combine them now or combine them later doesn't matter. It's just most of the time, kids are going to want to combine terms first, so there's less stuff to worry about, less thinking to happen. So, if I combine those, 1n and 5n's is 6n's, minus 5 is 7, add 5, divide by 6. But I had to distribute to get it. What I'm worried about, and I see this a lot, is if that wasn't an n and a 5 on the outside, I'll see kids come along and do something like this. Say it was 7 plus 5 n minus 1. I will see so many kids try to take 7 plus 5. I'll see so many kids do this. This is incorrect. Again, what is 5 doing right now? Okay, it's multiplying right up on that parenthesis Okay? Like, you're going to see those two over there doing their, right? And you're just going to come up behind Ashton and do the same thing, right? No! That's weird. The first part was gross. Don't make it gross and weird. Okay? These are already multiplying. These are multiplying. These are adding. Multiplying comes before adding. Order of operations. Okay? But I will still see kids time and time and time again try to add those two together. You can't do it. Okay? You know, that dance was gross to watch. That was nasty. Okay. We've done it once before. We're probably going to need a refresher. If you would please, all of your phones and devices come over here. Try to keep them in one area instead of all over my counter. All over there. Just the little herd, okay? They're like phone cows. They like to be together.
I was here on Monday and I didn't have time. I just couldn't get
Then don't do this.
Can I go to the library and like work on it?
Yeah. Just head on. Okay. I think I finally put 2 and 2 together the other day. Are you Brandon's sister?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
She was asking me about it, and I was like, only Walters.
It's been bugging me. Okay. What's up? Color identity.
Do you want me to put them with these, or would you rather keep them like separate with the artifacts? So do like Woober, that way you can, they're still with the other artifacts.
Ugh, that's right. That's why they're in both places, because I waffled on it.
That's probably what I would do, is have them sort of Wooberg in the front, so they're still with the mana rocks, but just not with the others. Don't you think? They're all sort of out. So anything with colored mana. So the lockets, the signets, the mirrors.
I don't know. I can't think right now. All right, we got everything over here. When you are done, my counter will be full of notebooks, because while you guys are doing a quiz, I'm going to be going through all of the notebooks from last hour. So when you are done, I would like for you to put your quiz goes in the basket, your notebook or folder or whatever it is that has your packet of notes, your daily quizzes, and your assignments goes in a pile next to the basket. Not all over my counter, a pile next to the basket. Where does it go? Pile next to basket. Okay. Because I don't want to have your stuff spread over my counter right next to all of the other books that I am grading, because then I will think that yours is one of the books I just graded and never see it. And you don't want that right before the midterm. With that, second rule of kindergarten, put your name on your paper. That goes for your notebooks, that goes for your folders. Make sure your name is on stuff. Okay? If your name is not on stuff, I will not know whose it is. You will not get credit. Make sure everything is labeled and organized. If you got a notebook that is literally just math, geography, biology, like just one after the other, after the other, after the other, I don't want to hunt through that. Okay? Keep it organized. Make sure things are labeled when you do daily quizzes and assignments. At the top of every one, it should say 2-1. Section 2-1. Here's my assignment. Down at the bottom, quiz 2-1. It's not that hard. You've been schooling for a few years. Okay? So please, some method of organization to it. You do not have to tear things out of notebooks. Just throw the whole notebook over there. Because guess what? You don't have math work to do for the next 5 days. Because you don't get an assignment today. Tomorrow's a maroon day. And then you get a 3-day weekend. Okay? So unless you need that notebook for other subjects, don't worry about it. Just leave it over there. If you need the notebook because you have other subjects in it, tell me. I will do yours first. Okay? And if that's the case, you may pick it up tomorrow at lunch. I will not be here for Spartan time and after school. I got to go do a thing. Okay? So, we all set? No! It should never be hard. It should never be stressful. It should be just, I show up and I do the thing that we just did for 4 days. Okay? Womp, womp. And it actually says review and quiz on it this time instead of review or whatever it was. Okay.
Can we use both packets?
Ooh, good call. Okay, good question over here. We were in sections 1.7, 1.8, 1.9, 2.1, 2.2, and 2.3. That means you need to turn in your chapter 1 and chapter 2 packets of notes. Thank you. Are you ready or not? If you're not, don't do it. Okay? I talked to Mr. Bush. We can have you do it tomorrow instead. You can work on it with me on Monday or Tuesday. So, oh, then someone else in this row has a single-sided as well. It was just the top of the pile. That's canon? Okay. So, here you go. Womp. You got a single side? Who had the double side? Yours is single or double? Single, single. Okay, single, single, double. Good? Okay, everyone's got one? All right. No. Bud, we review right before we do it. I walk you through. These are the things we did. We're going to review through them real quick, so no one is at a loss because I didn't do my homework for the last 5 days. Because we review it immediately before we do it. That way, next week for parent-teacher conferences, when I tell your parents, we do everything together in class. I give multiple examples of it. The solutions are online. It is fill-in-the-blank notes. It is open notes and open book for your quizzes, and we review it immediately before you do it, and you get to use that review on the quiz. They then turn their head and stare at you like that and wonder why the hell you have a 50. Because we're going to review it right before we do it. Okay? Here we go. Round 1. Can I simplify an expression? Well, I bet I can because we were just simplifying expressions while solving equations. So, what do I do when I got a 4 smashed up on that parenthesis? Disturb it. And give it like a 2.5, maybe a 3. If you got it, you got it. Okay. All right. What is 4 by 6p? Had too much gas to it. That was like a 3.5. Okay. All right. 4 by negative 2r. Be careful. All right. Before it was a side quest. Now it's distracting. Stop. 4 by a negative 2p is a negative 8p. Cool. I distributed. I'm done, right? Combine like terms, please. Everywhere there's a plus or a minus, I break it up. Sort your Legos. Which of those boxes go together? 24 dead possums minus 8 dead possums is 16 dead possums. If they're going to lay in the road and literally play possum, I'm going to run them over.
My dog.
Thump.
Happy math.
Okay. Now, someone asked this question last hour in algebra. They said, can I cross them out so I know not to use them again? Not only can you, I think it's a really good idea and you should. All right? I think it's a really good idea. Can I combine these?
Nope.
Isn't that like 8 PR?
No, you can't do that.
Not like terms. Don't try to combine them. Okay? Next up, we did section 1.8. Was all about that equation word style. Can you turn words into equations? Okay? We've said a couple of times now, if I go to the question or the statement at the end of the problem, it usually tells me what my variables are. Write and solve an equation to find the total number of vehicles Colossus destroys in the battle. Because Colossus was a giant metal dude and he's cool. Okay. So, quiet you. So I need to find number of vehicles, right? So that's my variable. That's what I'm trying to find. Off to the side, what do you want to use as a variable? Okay. Do you want to use V for vehicles? Go for it. But whatever you do, make sure you state it's the number of vehicles. Okay. So write and solve, you know what? Highlighter. Okay, so I took care of this. Number of vehicles he destroys in the battle. If means I'm going to set a condition. So that's going to happen later. Now go back to the beginning. Colossus can crush 12 vehicles when he does superhero landing. Then smash another 4 vehicles per minute of melee combat. That's important, not projectile. Y'all need to play some more video games, okay? All right. The number of vehicles that he's going to destroy is going to be... You can't just go straight for the throat like that. Did you write and solve an equation? No. No, you didn't. Okay. Destroys 12 vehicles as soon as he shows up. 12. Just straight up 12. 12 goes boom. Plus 4 vehicles per minute of combat. Oh, I might need another variable there. Like M is my minutes. But that will tell me the total of how many vehicles he destroyed. Right? 4 per minute plus the 12 when superhero landing. Okay? So there's my equation. There's this part. Now I go to the end and it says, if he's in combat for 13 minutes. What? No? What? Oh, I wrote a V because instead of an X. I wrote a V instead of an X. You got me. You got me. Okay. You got me. Okay. All right. 20.
Do they restart when another class gets it?
No. Your class keeps rolling. When you hit 20, it resets, goes up to 25. Do it again. I dare you. We're at midterm. I usually got one class who has their brownies by now. You were in here during a pandemic.
No. But you said you would find things Safeway. You did.
Yeah, and then my will to live got sucked out.
I
So,
feel like I deserve to.
all right. In combat for 13 minutes. What can I do with this equation?
Substitute 13 for n.
13 is minutes, right? So if I replace this with 13, that's 12 plus 4 by 13 is x. Order of operations. What comes first? 4 by 13 is? And then Heath.
64.
X, the total number of vehicles destroyed, 64. Which is totally legit. I mean, you're talking about a 7-foot-tall Russian dude made of metal who can throw tanks. I think in 13 minutes he could probably destroy a lot of vehicles. Okay.
Those are people's cars that he's just destroying randomly.
What happens when the cops are trying to enforce prejudicial policies against the mutants? The cops are the bad guys. Okay. All right.
You're getting a little too deep into X-Men.
we're getting a little too deep on X-Men lore. Okay. Solve and check. These are both one-step equations. Nice and easy, but you gonna show some work?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
I did. It's right there.
How do I get rid of negative 5/4 smashed up on F? Oh no. I don't see an add or a subtract in between there. They're okay. I need to divide, and dividing by fractions is easy as pie. Flip the second and multiply. Okay, multiply by the reciprocal. Okay. Make sure you do it on both sides. Maybe put this over 1. And now I can say 4 over 4. 5 over 5. Negative with negative. It's just F. I can say negative with negative. You see anything else we can cancel? The 5 and the 15 are cross-canceling. What do 15 and 5 share? Divide 15 by 5, I get a 3. Divide by 5 by 5, I get a 1. Multiply straight across and get 3 times 4 over 1 times 1, which is just 12. Check it. Check it. I should be able to say negative 5/4 times a thing, and does that equal negative 15? We just said 12. Can you plug in 12? Even if you just use the calculator, I don't care. Are you showing this? Are you showing that I plug this in and it actually comes out as negative 15 equals negative 15? Solve and check. Okay. Second one. What do I got to do before I start moving things around? If I subtract a negative n. Add the opposite, right? So now this is 8 plus n is 1. How do you get n by its lonesome?
Minus 8.
How do I know I subtract 8 and not add 8? It's a positive 8. I undo positive 8 with negative 8. Show me that that cancels and n is negative 7. If you think n is negative 7, you better be able to prove 8 minus a negative n, is that really 1? Yes, I do have double parentheses there because I'll see a lot of kids will jam a -7 in here and think, oh, cool, they just have the negative for me. No, 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 no. Because when I put a negative in here, triple negative. Whoo!
Oh, no.
What's a negative -7?
Positive.
So this is now 8 minus a positive 7. So 1 is 1. But if I didn't have the parentheses there, it would have said 8 minus a -7. Add the opposite, I would have said 15 equals 1, thought I was wrong, and been confused because I did it right. Okay? Parentheses. Maybe now that we're down in the solve and check area, be a real good idea to make a note to yourself that when you're checking, to replace the variable with a set of parentheses, then plug it in, so you don't screw up negatives and exponents. All right, well, after one-step equations, two-step equations. I got to get rid of a 13, I got to get rid of a 12. Who goes first? If I tried to subtract 13 right now, I can't because that 12 is in the way. So I need to get rid of that 12. What is happening with the 12? Add, subtract, multiply, or divide? It's dividing. So I'm going to by 12, by 12. Y'all, this just cancels. I've seen a couple of you make this mistake of distributing 12 into the numerator as well. Make a note to yourself. It just cancels. Don't also distribute it. So like I'll see kids cancel this out, but then they also do this. And that's just wrong, okay? Now you're double dipping. You're trying to use 12 too many times. What's 1 by 12? So there's the first step. What's the second? Subtract 13 from both sides. You. And say R is a -1. Check it. Check yourself before you proverbially wreck yourself. Is that actually 1? We said R is a -1. Order of operations. Take care of everything on the numerator. What is -1 plus 13? 12. And 12 over 12 is 1. Can I do a check like that?
Yeah.
Like backwards? Yeah, you're fine. Power of Christ compels you. Again, 2 steps. Who goes first? Okay. Subtract 8. A big reason that I ask kids to show everything is because if I show that 8 minus 8 is 0, maybe I'll remember that the negative is still here. Right? It's a -3/8. And then dividing by fractions is easy as pie. Flip the second, multiply. If I'm going to divide by a fraction, I'm going to multiply by its reciprocal. Multiply by its reciprocal. And say 3 over 3 cancels, 8 over 8 cancels, negative with negative cancels. 12 and 3 got what in common?
4.
They have a 3 in common. They'll reduce to 4 over 1. Negative and negative cancels. 8 by 4 is 32. Make sure you check it. 8 minus 3/8 by, I said 32, is that actually -4? Again, I have no problem with you grabbing a calculator and saying 8 minus 3/8 times 32, like this. I left the box empty, didn't I? Yeah, I did. Beep. Okay. I got no problem with you using the calculator to do the check. Let it do the heavy lifting for you. You want to write it out on your own? Cool. You want to use the calculator to show that? Okay. I did it, but then I saw -4 was -4. So I show that it checks out. Don't just BS it. I got a lot of kids who will do the work to get here. They'll just write this without ever actually pressing the buttons, without ever actually doing any math, just to make it look like they did their check. You know what happens when you do, that's a -32 at your answer? And then you come up here and you say a -32 for your check, and then you just write -4 equals -4? Now, instead of getting 1 off for goofing just the thing, but showing your check was wrong, you tried to BS it. Now you're getting 2 off out of 5 instead of 1 off. Because not only did you get the incorrect answer, you also BS'd your check. Do it for real. The check isn't there just to make you do dumb things. The check is there so you know if you're right or wrong. And then a little bit of review. Let's go back to lesson number 2. Write an algebraic expression for twice the difference of 6 and a number. Well, I don't know. What is it? Boy, it would be handy if you had notes. That was way back. That was like 2 weeks ago. How will I ever know this? Dig through those notes. Subtraction. There we go. So when I hear the difference of, that tells me I'm going to subtract 2 things. Those things will be separated by the word and. It will also tell me the order that I do it in. So if they say the difference in 6 and a number, it's 6 minus n, not n minus 6, because they told me the order. Okay, that's all this part, because twice means 2 times. I'll just have a 2 smashed up on those parentheses. Okay, now this is just an example. I could have any number of things here. I might talk about the quotient of, I might talk about the difference of, I might talk about the sum of, I might talk about the product of this and that squared. I don't know. I literally don't know because I don't remember what I wrote. Okay? I just know that I found a problem that was about like this. So, regardless, you got to figure it out. You got the notes. It's open note, open book, closed mouths. Please respect those that are still working. All right? Some of you are going to take the entire time. Some of you might be done in 10 minutes. Stay quiet and respect those that are still working. Until I have every single quiz, I want you to stay quiet. When you are done, if there is no one near you who still has a quiz, you may grab your phone and get those streaks. I don't care. Okay? If there's no one around you that you're going to distract. Because if I see you with a phone near a test, I'm going to assume that you're doing something nefarious and you will have a 0. Yes. All right.